So we are comparing this graph to f of x equals x. You can type that into the calculator if you want to, but what number is in front of the x since there's nothing there? Oh, good. The slope is 1, perfect, and it's plus nothing. There is nothing else there. So if you wanted to graph that, it would start at the origin and go up 1 over 1. It would look like that if you were to graph it. So is g of x steeper or less steep? It's steep. Do you see how it goes up further? Can you put your backpack on the ground, please? See how it's steeper? Now it's steeper by how much? It's going to be one of these, either twice or a half. Twice. Do you see how it goes up 2 over 1? So instead of slope of 1, it's slope of 2, twice as much. C is in coconut. All right, and then the y-intercept. It was at 0. Now it's where? 2. So up 2. So which one of these is up 2? 2 more than. So B as in bubble gum. Good. All right. Choose any 2 equations. So you're going to pick 2 answers here that are represented by the graph below. What have I told you should be your go-to instinct for any question? Put it in the calculator. All right, we're going to do these one at a time. Now, when I type them, I need for you guys to listen and watch up here. You guys are too old for me having to shush you this much, all right? I'm going to type them in one at a time, and I want you to tell me if this graph looks like the one that's on your paper. Does it touch at -1, 0, and 0, -3? Is that correct? No. Okay, cross that one out. It's not A. Let's do Q. All right, let's do D. All right, 2x 3y equals -6. Does that match? No, cross out D. I don't know why I did A and then D. I guess that's just how my brain reads as a cross like that. Y equals -3 halves x minus 3. This match, what's good? Circle B. Good job. I was a little delayed there. Equals 6. Did that match? No, I don't even need to click on the points. That really doesn't match. All right, this is C as in coconut. Y equals 2/3 x plus 2. Does that match? Oh, okay, so I guess it's going to have to be that last one there, but here, we'll check it just for good measure. There, does that match? -2 and -3. Okay, so which 2 did we circle? B and F. Good job. Best friends. All right. Write equations for the lines below. I want you to write Hoy Vux off to the side. I should be having to shush this much. Right? Hoy Vux off to the side. Looking at this line right here. Is it vertical or horizontal? Vertical. So Vux, it's going to be x equals something. Why is it 2? Because that is correct. You're a genius. Intersects at 2. All right. You are. Do you see how this one's horizontal? That's Hoy. It's going to be y equals -3. Do you see how it crosses at -3? That's all there is to that. But it can be hard because one is one way and one is the other. So you got to be careful. That does not bother me that you're eating at all, but you can't let that distract you. Okay, is all. All right, write the equation of a line that goes through this point and has a slope of a half. What should your instinct be for every single question? Calculated. Thank you. All right, now I need for you to watch 1/2 x minus 2. Now, what point did it say it had to go through? 2 -3. So watch how I do this. See how I just typed 2 -3? Are you looking? This is like brain optional. The line go through the point? No. Okay, so let's do the next one. It was -4. And oh my gosh, does that go through that point? Good. So B is your answer. B is in Barracuda. Oh, I've never heard of that. Hang on. Tell me later. All right. All right. Glad y'all are in a good mood, but we need to focus. This one, we want to go through. Here, let me type choice A. -1/2 x. What is it? +1. Now it needs to go through those 2 points. What are the 2 points? I have to make sure. 4, 3. And then I'm going to type 6. What was it? -1. Does it go through those 2 points? No. Sure doesn't. You see them there? It's not touching them. All right, what's the next one? 5. I go through both of them? Are you looking? It goes through one of them, but not both of them. All right, the next one is -2x. Oh, what is that? +11. Oh, does that go through both? Dinner, winner, chicken dinner. All right, so we want that one. C. Flip over, we're on our way. I shouldn't be having to shush this much. Quiet. C is in Cocoa Puff. I'm glad you guys are in a good mood, but you need to shush. Okay. Now this says perpendicular. What is the slope of this line? 2/3. Perpendicular means you're going to change it. So instead of positive, it's going to be negative, and you're going to flip it over. Now, these two, good job. These two are written in y equals mx plus b. Do they have a -3/2 slope? No, so it's not either of those. We're going to have to test the other two to see if they have a -3/2 slope. Can you please face forward and stop fucking? All right, so I'm doing choice C, the next one there. This looks like it has a -3/2 slope. Does it go down 3/2? You guys see that there, down 3/2? You don't see it because you're talking and not listening. That is your answer, so C. Does the next one say parallel or perpendicular? I want you to read, so I'm not reading. It's parallel, so that means the same. What is the slope of this line? All right, so that means we want a slope of -3. We want it to be the same, and we want it to go through the point -1, 4. So I'm going to test each of my choices, see which one does that. What is the first one? -3x 7. What point was it we wanted to go through? -1, 4. All right, does that go through -1, 4? Let me hit home and see if it does. Does it go through that point? Sure doesn't. All right, the next one is +1. Oh my gosh, does that go through that point? Hey, that's your answer. B, as in brave, as in barbecue. All right, 59. How do you say that name? Nina? 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 Has read 30 pages of her book so far. Nina, we'll go with that. So we want a graph. We want a graph that starts at 30. Do you see any one of these that starts at 30? Oh, actually, B is the only one that starts at 30. So that's going to have to be our answer. But then you would want her to read an additional 10 pages each day. So does it go up by 10 each day? Yes. So B is our answer. We were kind of able to pick it just based on the 30. All right. We got a few more. Yeah. Select all. So you're going to have more than one answer, probably. Representations equivalent to 2x minus 3. Now I could type that in the calculator, but out of these two, A and C, which one is 2x minus 3? Because I believe you could do that without a calculator. Do you see how that goes up 2/1? All right, so we want A. Why could it not be C? It's going down. Perfect. Good job, guys. See, when I get you guys to listen to me, we're on point. Now watch. I'm going to come over here and type in y equals 2x minus 3. You looking? Yeah. I'm going to hit gear table. And you look at the tables there, choice B and choice D, and see which one has these numbers in it. -2, 7, 0, -3. Yeah, and you could keep this going. Okay, B, good job. Good job. Okay, I was trying to be silly to get you to pay attention, but you understand why that's the answer? That's the whole point. Yeah. All right. Which statement is true? All this is saying is which points are on the graph. It says f of 2 equals -2. Is the point 2, -2 on that line? No, it's not that one. All right, this is the point 4, 1. Do you see how I'm doing that? 4, 1. Oh, do you see how that's on there? Oh, and can we talk about answer choices for just a second? I need for you all to listen to me because I say this to my AP Calculus students too. If you end up with like 10 questions left over at the end where you can't even do an educated guess, I mean, like you can't even narrow it down to A or C, like you have absolutely no idea. Listen to me on this. This has made people pass. You put this, I don't care if it's C, I don't care if it's A, B, D, it doesn't matter. You put the same letter for all of them because probability wise, it will be more likely, in theory, you should get a quarter of them correct. But if you go, this one's A, that one's C, this one's D, you could get them all wrong. So if you have like 10 questions at the, I don't care if you have like 30 questions at the end, you don't know. Pick one letter and put the same letter for all of them. Do you all understand me? Yeah. I feel like I got everyone's attention there, because in theory, and don't do this because you won't pass, but in theory, if you went in there and put the same letter for the entire test, you should get at least 25%. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. 25 is not passing, so you need to do better than that. But whatever's left, same letter for all of them. Well, I tell my students, I don't care if it's C, but pick a letter going in, and that's your go-to letter that if you absolutely don't know, that you're going to guess. All right. You're good. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. 50 is my guess. All right. Are you listening? Question? I always pick B because my name is Beth, but that's me. So there you go. See, and it doesn't, but the point is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but you pick a letter going in. Bless you. Are you guys all listening? This video is getting very disorganized and I don't like that. Can we please focus? I'm waiting. Given this function, again, I don't mind doing that, but the point is for it to help you focus better. If it's doing the opposite, I'm going to take it. That was for both of you. Given this function, what domain value results in a range value of 5? All right, is range X or Y? Y. Good job. Watch how I'm going to type. Are you looking? Say that and then not look, okay? So I'm going to type the 1/2, what was it? +3, thank you. Then in the next line down, I'm going to type Y equals, what was the range value they gave us? They wanted 5, and I'm going to click where those two graphs do what? Okay. So what is the X value that's going to give you 5? 4 is your answer. Do you see that there? Yeah. 4. So what is that? D, as in dingo. All right. Number 63. Select all of the following. So there's going to be more than one answer that are functions. Be careful because sometimes they say which ones are not functions. So just make sure you're reading. Functions means it passes the vertical line test. So a vertical line only hits once. What do you think about A? Do you think A is good? A is good. Why does B fail? It hits twice. All right. Now out of these, you don't have a graph. You look at your X numbers, and if they repeat, it fails. So look at this one. -1 only has 1 arrow, 2 only has 1 arrow, 4 only has 1 arrow. Do you see that? So that's fine. Now look at your X values here. Do any of them repeat? Nope, so we're good. So we actually got 3 answers there. Can I show you an example of one that would have failed? Like so that you understand that? Give me some single digit numbers. There, do you see this? Why would this one fail? There's 2 twice. Good, perfect. All right. Which relation has a domain of these numbers and a range of 0 and 1? Is domain X or Y? You want these to be your X numbers, and you want 0 and 1 to be your Y numbers. Can you all quietly, so that everyone can think, look through the choices and see which one you think it is that has -1, 4, and 5 for your X numbers, and then 0 and 1 for your Y numbers? Do we agree with B? -1, 4, and 5 is X, 0 and 1 is Y. Good job. B. You agree? You concur? All right, we got 2 more. I think it goes up to 80. That's why I broke it up and we only did a few each day. You guys aren't going to have time to finish your classwork and get a grade for it if you're all yelling loudly. Number 65, given that function, determine the vertex and whether it's a maximum or minimum. Well, what am I going to do? Okay, so what is it? Now you guys tell me, 2x squared. I want to make sure you're reading with me. Then what? Minus 4x.
One.
Now it asks for the vertex. So where am I going to click?
The middle.
Ladies,
The
the middle. So it's 1, -1. And is that a maximum or a minimum? Why is that a minimum, everybody? You can't go below. It's the lowest point. So we want 1, -1. It's a minimum. So which choice is it? D. There you go. C is in coconut. C is in Chris. All right. In this function, determine the range if the domain is blah, blah, blah. Basically, it's just range. What is range? X or Y? Y values. All right. I'm going to type in the calculator. And this is plus 6x minus 5. I'm going to click right here. Look. Which one is the Y number?
Four.
The second one, 4. And do you want everything above 4 or below 4? Below 4. So which choice means below 4? C. Good job.